Okay, it's recording. You may start the show, Jason. Chat later. Bye.
Bye. Well, hello there, my business owning entrepreneurial friends. It's Jason Withers here, live with the Profit Levers radio show on Coach on Fire Radio. Thanks very much for listening in today. I hope you've had a great day or are partway through having a great day. I'm always very, very happy to be here doing this show for you. Great guests and great topics to help you all with growing more profitable businesses, make it also worthwhile. So some housekeeping items for any of our new listeners today. The Profit Levers radio show is brought to you by Coach on Fire Radio, and it's a fortnightly show which airs at midday PST, 3 p.m. EST and 8 p.m. GMT. So our next show will be airing on Monday the 1st of October. At the same time, you can subscribe to the podcast through iTunes, Spotify, or listen on iHeartRadio and catch up on any episodes that you've missed, and obviously get subscribed to make sure you don't miss any in the future. In the main part of today's show, we're going to be talking with my special guests today, Marie Parks and Jessi Honard from North Star Messaging and Strategy. Marie and Jessi are going to be talking to us about the importance of messaging in your business and how that helps your development as a thought leader in the eyes of your audience. So I'm really looking forward to today's show. We've got a lot of questions to ask. But before that, I need to just check in with you and say you can catch me on social media through my Facebook page at Jason A. Withers, or also on Instagram and Twitter, also where you can find me at Jason A. Withers. So for those of you that haven't met me before, I'm a profit growth strategist, profit mentor, profit maker, and profit transformer for entrepreneurs and owner-managed businesses. I'm also a profit first professional coach, helping to take the stress of cash flow management and driving more profit growth into the lives of entrepreneurs and business owners. So that means learning to take your profit and pay yourself first, and getting that all-important money set aside for your taxes, and actually learning to make the rest of your business fit around that. So in a nutshell, I help ambitious online entrepreneurs and owner-managed businesses just like you to live and love a more profitable existence. So that means a more fulfilling life for you, more time and freedom to do more of the things that you want to do. But most importantly, we do it simply, we do it efficiently, and we do it together. Now, in the coming weeks, I'll be continuing to interview a series of guests who are going to help us to create more profitable businesses through the rest of 2018 and on into 2019. We've got some life coaching experts, we've got web experts, system geeks, and a marketing maven lined up for you before Christmas. And they're going to be bringing you the best of what they have to offer to give us the lowdown on how we can leverage all of those skills to create more profitable businesses. Now, I believe in profit as the commercial imperative, and it is the commercial non-negotiable for us all. Why is that? Because I believe that profit gives you choices in life. More profit gives us more freedom, which gives us more choices, and that allows us to make more impact, be that personally, in our businesses, or socially. So it really boils down to being that simple to me, and I want it to be for you too as well. So let's get on with today's show and discover how we can help make our businesses more profitable by addressing today's selection of topics encompassing messaging and thought leadership. So special guests today, Marie Parks and Jessi Honard. Now, they like to joke that they share a brain, and we're going to find out later on whether or not two brains really are better than one. But that's how they've basically thrived as co-owners of North Star Messaging and Strategy since its foundation in 2010. So together they help entrepreneurial thought leaders step into the true power of their message so that they can connect with the right people and create the income and impact that they're all dreaming of. They serve their clients through strategic copywriting and provide mentorship through group programs as well. Now, they are veterans of the media outlet world, and they've appeared on things such as Thrive Global, YFS Magazine, Huffington Post, and plenty of podcasts, such as The Creative Empire, Daydream Achiever, School of Self-Mastery, Copy That Pops, and many more. So you can connect with them through their website, northstarmessaging.com, and we'll obviously be posting all of their social profiles when we pin the replay up for you as well. So there's plenty of opportunity to get connected to them through all of the relevant platforms that they're on. Now, in today's show, Marie and Jessi are going to be talking to us about how your business messaging can empower you to become a better and more confident leader. They're going to be exploring their framework for thought leadership with us, bringing it back to powerful messaging that supports your business journey. We're also going to be digging into topics such as what is messaging in business, and when you get it right, why it helps escalate not only your profitability, but your impact as well. In addition, we'll be talking about why entrepreneurs often neglect their message, how messaging can drive your leadership journey, and they'll be giving us one simple step that we can take to spruce up our messaging, which I can't wait to hear a little bit later on. So in addition, if we have time today, I'd also like to talk to them about the recent challenge that they ran, the Evolved Entrepreneur Challenge, and get their take on how the premise of that actually came about and how it has helped shape their business over recent times. I have to say it was a real eye-opener for me when I went through it not so long ago. So we can work hard for our profit, or we can choose to earn profit in the most important and efficient way for our business. Now, I don't know about you ladies, but I've yet to meet an entrepreneur that doesn't want to know more about how to make a bigger profit whilst enjoying more time freedom with a less problematic life. Now, given that we're all trying to captivate our audiences with a great message, both visual, written and spoken, the art of creating a compelling message that triggers that initial stop scrolling moment is kind of fundamental to all that, I think. How about you? Do you agree with that as a starting point?
Yes, absolutely. And I just want to thank you so much yes. Yeah, thank you so much for having us on the show. We really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Really excited for this show today.
Yes, us as well. But yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, we can have the most effective services in the world. We can have amazing experience. We can be able to create amazing change in the lives of the people that we serve. But if they don't know about us and we don't catch their attention, all of that sort of is wasted talent, right? So it's absolutely important that we are able to get in front of the right faces and catch their attention and be able to get them what they need. So it's really a win-win situation.
I think that's right. Do you agree with that, Jessi?
Yeah, absolutely. And once we catch their attention, to actually keep their attention in a way that's really clear. And that's where we see a lot of people sort of dropping the ball, or where we see a lot of people having audience members who get confused. And that's when things like profitability start to suffer, because it's not enough to just get their attention. You have to keep their attention.
Sure. And that really is the battle today, isn't it? It is maintaining that attention. I'll come on to the subject of clarity around all of this in a little while, but I'd like to go right back to the beginning, if I may, and really ask you about how you transitioned into the online arena. How did you realize that it was the next place you needed to be? Where did you come from? What had you been doing before? And then I'd really like to find out how you actually decided to get into business together. I think it's important for people to understand that there has to be a chemistry when people get into business together. And obviously, dating back to 2010, you've managed to maintain this for quite some time now. We hear about so many other partnerships and JVs that sort of come and go when people think something's a good idea and then it doesn't really work. So I'd love to find out what your chemistry and your magic is, and where did it all start?
Yes, so we'll start from the beginning. So Jessi and I met actually on an online forum for a book series that we both liked in, I think it was 2009. Is that correct, Jessi? Yes. Okay. So 2009, we had not known each other an exceedingly long time before we decided to start the business together. And at that time, I was a grant writer for nonprofits in Houston, Texas. Jessi was also living in Houston and was in the classroom at that point as an AP English teacher. And we both knew that this was great and we were learning a lot and we enjoyed certain aspects of what we were doing, but we really craved that freedom that could come with entrepreneurship. And we knew that it might be a little bit of a long road, but we were interested in seeing where it went. And at that point, up until then, not only were we fellow bookworms, but we also had come together to go camping and hiking. And if you've done such things, you'll know there's a lot of time spent when you don't have access to your cell phone or you don't have all the distractions of living in the city. All of a sudden you get into these great conversations and we realized we really had very similar dreams for our future, that we had similar work ethics, that we actually had similar skill sets, very complementary ones. And so it really made sense. And that gave us a little bit of a ground to test our friendship and to learn if it would be a good partnership. So that's how it all kind of began, but it's changed a lot.
In fact, our earliest projects were writing resumes and cover letters for people. It was during the recession, and that was sort of naturally what made the most sense for us as young professionals with writing skills. And it's obviously evolved a lot over time. And you mentioned that a lot of JVs and a lot of partnerships tend to come and go. And I really think that over the course of all of these years that we've been in business together, the thing that has kept us together and allowed us to build a business that thrives, I think it comes down to two things. One is our adaptability and our willingness to try new things and shift with the marketplace. And the second is that we have a very solid rule in our business of friends first. We are always friends first, and the business comes second. And if we ever flipped that, that's, I think, when the business would start to feel some strain.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really interesting. It's actually, I think it's almost more telling that you have, that you came together not through business initially, but actually through a private interest, as it were. And so there's the other piece of glue that actually held you together then, and I'm sure that has continued through as well. So you, as you say, you always have that other place to go, as it were, to actually escape from, I guess, day-to-day business together as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really part of the fabric of our business. I mean, when we like to get together, we no longer both live in Houston. In fact, neither one of us does anymore. And so everything is online. And when we do have a chance to see each other in person, it's a real treat. And so we always try to build in time to go hiking, spend some time not thinking about business. Of course, those conversations come up, but they come up very organically. And it's a way for us to really keep the friendship front and center. And we just have so many shared interests outside of that. We're actually also co-writing fiction. I mean, we just have a blast together. And I think that's it, right? We both come to our desk every day excited to work together and to see each other's faces and just really enjoy the process, not only the work, but each other.
A little bit off the beaten track here, to be fair, but yes, I have kept track with some of your posts where you do that sort of that self-accountability piece on your writing days, so that you actually check in. I'm particularly intrigued. There maybe is there's a good client angle on this as well, actually, to be fair, but it's this idea that you're writing a book together, but you obviously have your independent roles to take in that, in terms of how you're, I presume, developing characters or scenes or settings or parts of the book, maybe. How does that work, and how does that translate into the work you then do with clients?
It's honestly a very organic process for us. And I think part of that is because we've been doing it for so long. We do work together at the same time in documents a lot of the time, whether it's our fiction writing or our client work. And we've learned over time that sometimes that works really well, and other times we almost become a little codependent on each other in our writing. So what we've started to do is assign a lead. And one of us takes the lead on the project and does the initial run through, and then the other person comes on secondarily and fills in the holes, make sure it's streamlined, and we play to our strengths. So we always kind of joke that Marie has the feeling brain and I have the logic brain, which isn't necessarily the truth, but it's definitely the sort of things that we pay attention to first. So I look at the structure first, and Marie is like, okay, but we need to actually add a little bit more of a softer edge here and things like that. So we bounce off each other really well.
Yeah, actually give the characters a heart as opposed to just have them present. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. And it's totally the same in the copy too, because you really need both. I mean, it really is sort of a science and an art of copywriting, and absolutely we put on those hats, and that allows us to have the freedom to say, okay, this is my priority, and I don't really have to worry about this other stuff. I think for other people who are copywriters, a lot of times that comes through on subsequent edits, but for us, it just makes the process go a lot faster because we're able to do it simultaneously.
Good stuff. I think we'll probably tuck back into that a little bit later on. I'd like to just dig into this piece around messaging to start with. So what is it that you think actually makes an effective and captivating message? What makes it stand out from everything else that we see? What are some key things for you when it comes to that sort of real headline messaging idea?
You know, I think it comes back to clarity. That's always first. If someone doesn't understand what you're saying, then they might stop the scroll for a second just to be confused, then they're going to continue on. So it's definitely clarity, and it's not sacrificing that clarity for the sake of things like sounding cute or fun. And a lot of times people like to try wordplay and puns and things like that because they think it's clever, but it actually dilutes the message. So I think a lot of times it's about going back to the basics and making sure that you are getting across in the simplest, most